You are listening to a piece of the Salasin.10 podcast area. You are listening to a piece of the Salasin.10 podcast area.
Because I'm nobody. My name is Nazlina. I'm the lead of Women Tech Makers under GDG KL. So I'm just going to do a short introduction about GDG KL because I think that this awareness we have to repeat and repeat and repeat because people always have wrong perception about us. So we are known as the Google Developer Groups Kuala Lumpur, short form GDG KL, and it's actually a community of geeks, inventors and coders. So what is Google Developers Group? We are actually a local community of developers, designers, entrepreneurs, and also students that are passionate about Google technology such as Android, Chrome, Firebase, Polymer, and so many more, including open technologies. Okay. We also learn and share our knowledge by organizing talks like this. We do code labs, hackathons, and every type of events that circulate through the community. And the question people always ask, we don't work for Google. We are not Googlers. We all have our own day jobs for the professionals, and some of us are students. But the only thing about us is that we are being supported by Google. When I say supported, it means that they support us in terms of always give us free stuff. Okay, that's not for you to it's like I don't know lah. Some people make the perception that because Google give free stuff is that they want you to use the technologies. Actually, that's so wrong. The whole goal is to support the community. It's about giving back to the community. So when I say support, it doesn't have to be from things like all the t-shirts and whatsoever, not, but also in terms of the knowledge. So you guys always get the first hand of everything. So some of the events that we do is like DevFest KL, IO Extended, Women Tech Makers, GCP Extended, next, Android Study Jams, Vium Party live from US. Usually we do that like in the middle of the night at various places. So the organizing members of the GDG is my friend sitting there, Win Jun, who's going to talk about Tango later, my rockstar speaker. JT is the current GDG manager of KL. Okay, he's running around. I assume the very, very tall guy. Selfie stick. Human selfie stick. Because so tall, he can take everybody's picture by just standing and just like, very easy me. Then that's me. I hate the Women Tech Makers. Again, Women Tech Makers is under GDG KL. We are a little bit more focused on the ladies because you can see in your room, you can see left, right? There's not many. How many girls? Can you please raise up your hands? So this is considered still okay. Okay? Used to be like only one or two, don't know, somewhere at the back there. So that's why we need Women Tech Makers. So if you guys have friends who are girls who are really into coding and such, next time bring them, please, or event, any event, especially the Women Tech Makers one. Okay, a little bit about our history. I'm going to go very fast. We actually started, we were founded by Nazrul Kamaruddin. It started as a Google Technology User Group back in 2009. He is sitting in the room. Give a clap to him because if it's not because of him, there will never be a GDG KL ever. Okay? So he has been doing this for the past years. They did the first meetup. He was still very, very skinny at that time. And then the first DevFest was in 2010. Where they only had like 200 people. And after that it grew, where in 2011 they went up to 450. And then in 2012 they renamed the GTAP to GDG. And they have this type of events, and as you can see, the Thai course, I call it, in the industry, like Wenjun, basically most of my rockstar speakers, they've been in the community for a very long time. So the biggest DevFest we had was in 2013 where we had more than 1,000 people. That was the biggest ever DevFest KL, and at that time it was one of the biggest one within Southeast Asia, so it was like a big thing. We came out in the news, lady in Cyberjaya at that time. Then moving on to 2015, we started doing IO Extended. It was like a small room with that kind of people on top there. Then it went big into 2015 in Magic. We had about 300 people. Women Tech Makers started in 2015. That was the first Women Tech Makers that we did in Google Malaysia. We were featured also. And this year also we had a bigger crowd with more guys. I say more guys. So Women Tech Makers event, but more guys. But it was fun. And this year we did the IO Extended here. And the crowd grew and grew and grew. So the whole idea is to grow the community, and so far that's what we've done for the community. So for the agenda today, you can go to this website to have a look. Anybody want to take picture? Take picture now. I'm going to calculate. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done? Hello? Okay.
I haven't whole page.
Okay, but it's very simple. We have three different tracks. Track 1 here, auditorium, at level 4. The track 2 will be more on Android. That will be at the classroom L32. It's actually just one floor downstairs. So you can take the stairs and just go down the corner one. And for the code labs, which is the track 3, we have it at lab 1, which is also at level 3. We have our volunteers around, so you can ask them. Next, a little bit of housekeeping. I'm gonna go very fast. Please take care of the cleanliness at all times. Please don't eat or drink inside any of the halls or rooms. Lunch is to be collected at the foyer, and then you have to head into the cafeteria to eat. You're not allowed to eat in the room or outside or anywhere near the foyer. Please respect there's another event going on. Actually, there's a lot of event going on in APU today, so I really appreciate your help to just follow the instructions. And then please collect your boxes, lunch boxes, and throw it in the dustbin we provided. Self-service. Then number 3 is that please be at the rooms that you are designated, which is the auditorium here, auditorium 3, L32, or the lab. This is only for DevFest KL. We have 3 rooms only. Don't simply just wander around. Some people won't be happy. And number 4, the free stuff will only hand it to you at the end of the event. If you have to leave early, you won't be able to have it. So please stay, because we have 2 awesome speakers at the end. The t-shirts will be given on a first come first serve basis. As much as we like to accommodate all your sizes, but this is too many of you. So we are going to give the t-shirt based on sizes. So if you're XS, please line up at XS, and if you're XXL, go to XXL. So in between, there's all the sizes. But in order to get the t-shirt, you have to fill in the feedback form. So make sure that you key in everything. You know that when you submit Google form, there's like, thank you for your response, right? So you have to show that to all the volunteers. No showing, no t-shirt. Last, don't be selfish, be mature, polite, and please behave lah. Key points for today, what we expect you to get out of this is expand your network and enjoy, get to know people around you, say hello people sitting next to you, learn something new, learn something from each other, like us lah on Facebook, okay, whoever that haven't done so. Join us for more events in the future, and please do give us the feedback, how to improve and everything. The reason that the feedback is so important so that we can do better in our next event. It is for you guys, it's not for us. Okay, we don't want to shock sendiri. Okay, the Wi-Fi password. Log on to use hack at APU. Password is welcome to APU. Take picture. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done? Done? Hashtag, please. Take picture, hashtag. And remember, we have a polymon game going on. Go ask Henry Lim. There. He said, check your email. I don't know, don't come and ask me, don't ask the volunteer, ask him. Find that small guy with the yellow t-shirt. Yeah. Not many people wearing the fire base. Henry, I think you better stand. Okay. Moving forward, I'd like to invite Ishan from UHEC. Oh, before I say that, oh my god. This event is made possible. Thank you to EPU for sponsoring the venue. And also UHEC is, what you call this, is like, okay, I'm not going to talk about UHEC because I'm just going to introduce. Ishan has been helping us. Basically, we collaborate with UHEC for this event. So give a round of applause to Ishan.
Hello everyone, welcome ladies and gentlemen to DevFest KL 2016. I am speaking on behalf of UThac Malaysia now, but I will be your MC for the event, so that would be great. Thank you all for making the trip to APU. I hope you guys found it easy to get here. And for all of you guys who've come from overseas, if any of you guys have flown in, welcome to Malaysia. I hope you have a great time in Malaysia and I hope you enjoy the country as much as we have living here. UThac Malaysia is a completely student-run organization. All of us are studying, many of us are studying full-time, and what we essentially do is we organize events like this, hackathons. We help other organizations like GDG KL bring good events for the community, for the local tech community. We're focused primarily on startups, entrepreneurship, but we also look primarily towards the youth. So that is students, anyone under the age of 25. We try to encourage them with whatever ideas that they have, whatever propositions that they have. They come to us and we build them together. I think a lot of our members of the support team and the core team as well are very, very glad to be here. And I won't take up too much of your time, but I'll tell you this. Check out YouthHack Malaysia on Facebook, facebook.com/YouthHackMY, YouthHackMY, same as the Wi-Fi password. You can find out all the information about YouthHack Malaysia there, our future events there, and you can connect with people there. There's a Google form on our Facebook page, which will allow you guys basically to sign up for a lepak session. Any Malaysians around here will know what lepak is. Basically, you can come and chill out with the core team of YouthHack Malaysia, propose any ideas and suggestions. We are open to the community, and we're a very community-based organization. So I won't take up too much of your time. The rest of it is housekeeping rules. Ladies and gentlemen, at DevFest KL 2016, there are several rules for housekeeping. Would like everyone to remember not to smoke. This is a no-smoking campus. Lunch is strictly at the cafeteria. Please follow all the directions given by the volunteers, and if you have any questions, reach out to the volunteers at any given time. So without further ado, I would like to proceed, I believe, with announcing the keynote speaker for this event. Now, our keynote speaker is a very, very special person. He is someone who is a Google Developer Relations Program Manager. And beyond that, he has a decade of experience developing full-stack software solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, during his free time, he also likes to experiment with new technology, and he likes taking his road bike out for a spin. So he's a very fun guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bob from Google Singapore.
Alright guys, very good morning. My name is Bob Tayao. So just what Isan has mentioned, I work for Google Singapore. I'm originally Malaysian, so I was born here in Malaysia. So just before I begin, I think everyone, it's very early in the morning, so I just want to make sure everyone have a chance to kind of like stretch out a little bit. Can I get everyone to kind of like stand up? Stretch out a little bit. You guys have breakfast already, right? I hope so. We gave us cookies. Yeah, Naslina has some of like big, really amazing cookies. You didn't bake, I thought yeah. So one thing, this event is really for you guys. So what I really want you guys to do is like turn to the person on your left, on your right. Introduce yourself. Get to know each other. Because you're going to spend the rest of the day here. as one group. So yeah, I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. Introduce yourself, tell people what you do, and yeah. Alright, cool. Get to know new friends.
Great.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Nicholas.
Okay, settle down, settle down, settle down. Alright, so I think in today's keynote, kind of want to keep it casual, right? Not too formal. It's almost the end of the year already. It's in December, so just want to do a recap of what 2016 has looked like, especially for us, for GDG, and also discuss a little bit about what's coming up next in 2017. So for 2016, it's been really amazing, right? We've launched and announced and shared a lot of new technologies, a lot of new platforms, a lot of new products in iOS standard this year in May. And one of the things that we talk a lot about this year is Firebase. Right? Firebase used to be a startup in San Francisco. And what happened is that we see potential in that startup and they were doing some really amazing things. They will only have 3 features at that point of time, but they were very useful features. Right? So we kind of acquired them, and then we started working for the past 2 years in expanding that feature set. And one of the vision for Firebase is to kind of give developers one single SDK that you can use to build, you can use to get users, you can use to capture monetization opportunities, right? And Firebase today has grown from just a 3-feature product to become a 15-feature product. Actually, we added 2 more features in the past month, so now it's 17. And just want to take a snapshot of what Firebase looks like today. There's currently, since relaunch in May, we have around 700,000 plus live projects. We hosted the very first Firebase Dev Summit in Berlin, and in conjunction, the GDG KL actually hosted the viewing party as well, so that developers can enjoy and that atmosphere and watch the event through live stream. So that was really, really cool for Firebase. So we are also very happy that we'll see some good adoption in the industry. Some really partners that we work with, which they find value in Firebase. Asus, we have Booking.com, we have Wattpad, and so on and so forth. But I just want to call out a couple of other more specific use case studies, so you guys have an idea of what they actually use Firebase for. I want to start off with Fabulous. Anyone use this app before? Is anyone?
Not yet.
Ah, nice, couple. If you haven't, I would highly encourage you to download it. It's really amazing. For myself, I've been trying very hard to lose weight. As you can see from the very first photo, when I first joined Google, I was kind of still looking okay. Now I've actually ballooned to this size. Fabulous is an app that allows you to cultivate habits very naturally. It's not a to-do list, it's not a taskmaster or things like that, but they actually help people to figure out what they really want to develop as a habit and guide them along the way. So, and it's also designed by our very own Malaysia GD UI expert, Taylor Ling, which he will be having a session later on. He will talk a little bit more about Fabulous. So do stay on for his session, it's very interesting. So they actually use Firebase and they use a couple of those features listed on the deck, right? And what they primarily wanted to achieve was that to find and understand how users are using their app, right? And without Firebase, what they have to do is that they release one version, and then after that, try to maybe put in some tracking mechanism, try to get it out somewhere and try to analyze it. But with Firebase, everything is integrated. You just plug in the SDK, you view from the dashboard, figure out what you want to track, and then have to analyze the data accordingly. Right, so that's what they did, and they managed to kind of also do really good A/B testing as well. As developers, we want to A/B test before we roll out features to all our user base. And with Firebase Remote Config, they can do that too very easily. And on the fly, without any redeployment to the Play Store, which is really useful. So download this app, check it out. The next app is for people who really love to play with images. Anyone used this app before? Big Collage? I've seen 1, 2. They're from Taiwan. And what they do is that they actually developed this really amazing app, and then it took off by storm, right? And right now they have been around, I think 5 or 6 years already. So they were actually one of the very first partners that we work with to integrate Firebase. And it's very simple. They didn't use all 15 Firebase features. They just pick and match those that really make sense to them. They really want to know, very similarly to Fabulous, how users are using their app. And just by including the SDK, with not much programming involved, they are able to, first of all, get some analytical data, right? Understand how users use their app. Firebase support over 52 event tracking out of the box. So with no programming involved, they're able to get that. They also want to do A/B testing, remote config. There will be Firebase session later on today, so I highly encourage you guys to go to those sessions, understand how you can use it as well. And then after that, they want to know how their app is performing on different OSs. One thing I really want to call out is that for me personally, as a Googler, I'm very excited about Firebase because it actually allows me to have a conversation with iOS developers. So who is iOS developers in the house? Any iOS developers? Don't be shy, it's okay. Just raise your hands. Only one? Who's Android developer? All right. It's awesome. No, I'm just kidding. I think for me personally, it's been a very long time since I'm able to have a meaningful conversation with iOS developers. So Firebase actually allows me to do that. And that's really our vision. We want to be a platform provider. And we don't want to discriminate against different platforms. So Firebase supports iOS, Android, and also supports the web. Shazam! For all those music lovers out there, who are music lovers? I haven't asked the question, you raise your hand. You're very excited. A musician at heart. Okay. Who are music lovers? Who has used this app before? Okay, you've seen quite a few. Yeah, I love this app because it allows me to discover cool music that I add on to my video clips and things like that, especially during my wedding when I'm creating my own wedding videos. This was really cool. They're also one of the early adopters. They kind of integrated most of the very similar features and functionality from the two other apps, but they actually use Firebase notifications. And Firebase notifications is very easy to use. You can just use it and send meaningful notifications to across different platforms as well. And the way they use it was really interesting because with Firebase notifications, you can create groups or segmentations that you say that, okay, if someone likes classical music, send him this message. If someone likes rock music, send him that message. With that, they are able to increase the user engagement really pretty decently. So those are kind of like the three companies who have integrated Firebase. Hopefully we can see one from Malaysia really soon. If you're already using Firebase, do reach out and share. Use the hashtag DevFest KL 16, I believe. Reach out and share. We really want to see some case studies from Malaysia. And hopefully, we can have one of you guys listed up there as well. But switching gears, oh yeah. And also I want to call out this guy, Henry. There has also been a lot of really interesting, but I just want to call out this guy, Henry. No idea where he is right now. Yes. The Pokemon guy. So Henry, he's a very enthusiastic developer. He actually won the 2016, which is called Firebase, base as in BASS, which is IO 2017. So we really want to see developers, using Firebase to develop really creative solutions, creative apps, and things like that. So he's also a GDG co-manager as well. So he's been doing a lot for the community. So if you want to get involved, right, reach out to Naslina, reach out to the GDG folks, and then basically get involved. So and things like that. So Henry has been spearheading a lot of the Firebase advocacy in Malaysia, so I encourage you to talk to him too. He's pretty well versed in Firebase. So switching gears to web. Who are web developers in the room? 1, 2, okay, 3, 4. Oh, that's Henry, by the way. 4, 5. Yeah. So switching gears to the web, for Google, web in 2016 has been an awesome year. Really awesome. We surpassed 5 billion users on Chrome Mobile. Right, 5 billion users. Considering that the total world population is 7 billion, we more or less kind of like cover them pretty much. We still have 2 billion to go, but we'll get there, we'll get there. Some of the technology on the web that we advocate really a lot in 2016 PWA and AMP, Progressive Web App and Accelerated Mobile Pages. Has anyone heard of these two technologies before?
Yeah.
Not you. Oh, nice. Quite a few. For those of you who have not heard of PWA and AMP, I'll just very quickly talk through them. PWA, Progressive Web Apps, are basically web applications that are kind of able to behave like native app on mobile. And what this means is that you can install it, it works offline, you can receive notification even though the device is actually, the screen is actually off. So it has some really cool and interesting native app-like features. And one of the very interesting features I really like is the ability to work offline. So imagine this, back in the days, when people talk about internet, if you are disconnected, that's it. No one can reach your website. Or with PWA, people can still browse your website, even though it's offline. And it really looks like a native app, so which is really cool. AMP, Accelerated Mobile Pages, is a way that website owners can build websites that are cached in our servers, and when people search through google.com and found your website, clicks on it, it launches immediately. I think we are looking at a 2 milliseconds kind of launch time, which is really quick. Fantastic if your user base comes from countries which have challenging infrastructure, right? So we launched that in Malaysia too, which is really cool. And along with it, frameworks has also been one of our attention and key focus point. So we launched Angular 2 as well. Quick show of hands, who use, I know I asked a lot of questions, but who use Angular or Angular 2? Angular 1, Angular 2. Okay. Who use React?
What is that? React.js.
Oliver?
Polymer.
Okay, just kidding. Yeah, Angular 2 is a web framework that allows you to do kind of like MVC or MVVM pattern, model view controller kind of pattern. Develop your web app is really interesting, it's really fun. If you haven't heard about it, check it out. The team has put a lot of effort. I think it was 2 or 3 years of development time before I actually launched it. So, very similarly, I just want to share some case studies of who is actually using PWA right now, Progressive Web App. We have Alibaba.com, and they actually developed a Progressive Web App version of their website. And one of the interesting things that they saw was that the conversion is higher. They're able to achieve 76% higher conversion just because users actually install it onto their mobile, right? So for web developers, sometimes we want to keep the user website, but if they don't bookmark it, sometimes they forget the link and so on and so forth. But with here, you can add it to your home screen of your device, so they're able to come back to the website on the icon of the app. Very similar to a native app. The weather channel uses it to send push notifications, which looks like a native app. So that's actually a push notification sent to a website. The browser is not launched. It's not running at all, but because they install it, they're able to receive things like this, right? So it's really cool. Click on it, will then launch the PWA app on mobile device. So that's how one way you can, for website developers or website owners, you can actually re-engage the users to come back to your website. Sumo, a really big property listing company in Japan. They did a PWA as well, and they also use push notifications. And their challenge was to get users to come back. Sometimes they favorite their listings and things like that, and they go away and forget about it, and opportunities are lost. So they actually use push notification, and they see a 31% rate of re-engagement through those things as well. So there are some of the features of PWA that if you are really interested, I highly encourage you to look into it. Play around with it. It's all JavaScript. So if you are a developer, you're already a web developer, I assume that you work with JavaScript pretty much, and you shouldn't find this very hard to implement. And if you do something really cool, very similar to Firebase, reach out to us. Even better, if you develop a PWA app with Firebase, right, let us know. Because hopefully we can do a case study for you. Many more around the region, Air Berlin, Flipkart, Washington Post, Konga. So I want to call out Konga. Anyone is a big fan of online shopping? You guys shop online? No?
Ready.
Wow, okay. So maybe this. But Konga is an online shopping website. It's in South Africa. And the very interesting thing is that you can actually buy livestock from Konga. You want to buy an elephant, you add an elephant to a cart. You want to buy a goat, you add it to a cart. And then they'll deliver it to you. I'm serious. I'm not too sure about international delivery, but in South Africa, there's actually a use case that people want to happen online, right? And Konga did it. One of the really interesting implementation they did was because South Africa, some areas are not very well connected. When the device goes offline, when you add things to the cart, when the user clicks purchase, it makes a call to their call and complete the transaction. When it goes online, they check out through online. So that's a very innovative way to actually, give your users some cool experiences online. So check out Konga. Maybe try to buy something and see whether it works, buy a livestock or whatsoever. But those are some of the partners that implemented PWA around the world. And hopefully we can see some of your apps up there too. In Malaysia, I just want to call out another hero figure, Jocelyn Yee. Unfortunately, she can't be with us here today. She just recently became the Google Developer Expert for Web Technologies. Google Developer Expert is a program that we run to kind of like identify developers who are passionate in sharing, who have expertise in certain domains, and we go through a couple of interviews with them, and then kind of give them the title of Google Developer Experts. She also leads the Women Who Code Malaysia. Very, very experienced in Angular 2, wrote a lot of articles in Angular 2 as well. And also we kind of like supported her. We flew her to Mountain View last month to attend a Chrome Developer Summit so she can get all the knowledge that's being conveyed through the summit and come back and kind of spread that knowledge to everyone here in Malaysia. I also want to call out that she's also the first woman web GD in Southeast Asia. Right? So diversity in Google is very important. Just like Naslina has mentioned, women tech makers is one of the groups that we fully support. Right? We want women, who are in technologies to come out. We want to make sure that you are properly supported and things like that. Right? So Google her, and get in touch, have a conversation. She's very friendly. And if you want to be a web GD, feel free to reach out to, and we can speak further. So what's there in 2017? That was 2016, right? So what's there in 2017? So in 2017, some of the trends that we noticed in Malaysia is that the number of people coming online, right, the number of people who have access to the internet daily has increased significantly, right? And also the number of connected devices per person has also increased. You can see in 2016, we have gotten to everyone most probably will have a 1.8 device. Not sure how you slice the 0.2 away, but the figure, that's just a figuratively speaking. But more and more people are having multiple devices which are connected, right? And with that, what that means is that you will see a lot of connected devices. And when I say devices, it's not just for mobile phones. Right? It can be anything. It can be, it can be your watch, it can be your security camera, basically we are entering the IoT era, right, Internet of Things. Right? And why is it so interesting in this area? It's a growing area, but we are seeing a lot of potential, right? One thing that we caught sight is that there's now over 4.5 million IoT developers worldwide. Anyone developing IoT solutions in the house? One? Cool. Nice.
Yeah,
you guys are the early adopters, spearheaders. And we projected that in 2020, we are looking at 9.7 million IoT developers. That's a lot, that's a lot. That actually says a lot about the interest in this area. if you compare the ecosystem of IoT, right, it's a growing and very early ecosystem. If you look at Android, it's been a very successful system. The colors over there actually says hobbies, professionals, students, things like that. In Android, the biggest pie are professional developers, right? And then when you talk about the web, it's been around for 20 plus years or 30 years. That's a mature ecosystem. For IoT, it's very early. It's very early stage. And that's where it's the right time to jump in, right? You jump in, there's a lot of things that you can do. A lot of ideas haven't been explored. And once you get involved and you expose yourself to the early growth of this IoT ecosystem, you are able to kind of like lead the industry in some ways, right? Have an impact in the industry. So I highly encourage you to look into IoT if you haven't, and then think about what you can do in those parts. For mobile developers, what we realized, and we work with Vision Mobile for this research, what we realized is that for mobile developers, right, you guys have an edge, because a lot of the IoT platforms and SDK and solutions, they are very similar to mobile SDKs. Right? Even the language that they use is kind of heavily influenced on Android. So if you're already an Android developer, the learning curve is not that steep. Right? It's pretty much very similar in terms of how the API is designed, how the framework is set up, how the developer workflow is also very, very similar. So take a look into it and see what you can do. Very interesting. Mobile developers, you should find it pretty much at home. And from Google side of things, when we think about IoT, we want to kind of like spread Android OS a little bit further and have it into many different things. Right? We started with phones, and then we came tablets, and then we have Android TV, and then after that Android Wear, and then Android Auto. Not all of these products are available in Malaysia right now, but hopefully they will come really soon. Or you can actually get someone else, who's in the States to help you to buy some of the devices, come back and play with it. I think Wenchen, which is one of our speakers later on, and there he is. He actually went to the States, get a Tango device, come back, play around with it, and he's going to give a session on Tango. You're going to give a session on Tango, right? Okay. Just want to make sure. I don't want to put you on the stage. Yeah, so start looking into IoT and see what you guys can do, and play around with it. And hopefully, we can see some really interesting innovations coming out of Malaysia.
Yeah.
But with so many connected devices, we have a problem, and that is information overload. Every person has 1.8, and we have projected that to increase. Sooner or later, we will get to a stage where we're not able to manage anymore. Right? And that comes in the contextual assistant era, and we foresee that will happen in 2017 and moving forward. We started off with Google Now.
What, the battery?
And Google Now was awesome. It works for me because I travel a lot. And every time I just need to look into Google Now to understand where my next trip is coming. It's very contextual, it's very timely, but it's a passive way of conveying information. It just gives you information. You can't talk to it, right? So we want to take that concept a bit further. And this year we introduced Google Home. Has anyone seen this? Yes? Cool.
On TV.
For those of you who have not seen it, this is a device that you can buy, put into your house. It has the Google Assistant, or the next version of Google Now, or so-called. In it, you can talk to it, you can get information out of it using speech. Right? And that's the one thing that we want to get into, where you can interact and consume information in the most natural manner. Like if I talk to my mom is not a touchscreen. I don't touch her to get information. Right? I want to talk to her, I want to have a conversation, a two-way dialogue. Right? She can tell me that, hey Bob, you better go early because of the traffic jam, things like that. And so on. That's what we want to encourage, and that's the direction that we're heading into with Google Home. And just 2 days ago, just literally 2 days ago, we opened it up with an API. Right? An API and SDK that allows you to interact with Google Assistant. The very same engine that drives Google Home, where you can actually build what we call actions, right, for Google Assistants. So take an example. If let's say you own a restaurant, you can have someone build a way that integrates into Google Home that people can actually book a place in your restaurant, make a reservation through Google Assistant. So those are the APIs that is available. Check them out. Majority of them are free right now. right now, so do get in the game early. And play around with it, just play around with it, have some fun. Tweet about it, share with the community most importantly, and hopefully next year, we can get you guys involved as a speaker or workshop lead, sorry, not workshop, but code lab instructor, so to spread the knowledge. For people who are more hardcore, we are also anticipating that machine learning and AI is kind of like the next wave of things. We talked a lot about TensorFlow in 2016, right? And I just want to touch base again and do a snapshot of where we are when it comes on TensorFlow. So TensorFlow is an open source library that allows you to build models for machine learning. And what that means is that you are able to capture a large set of data that represents a knowledge in a specific area, and then use it to give your application some intelligence. Right? That's the simplest way I can think of putting it this way. We have achieved a first year milestone. It's an open source library, so if you want, you just Google for TensorFlow. First year in November 9th, it's first. We have kind of like reached that milestone as well. We are going to have the first TensorFlow Dev Summit in Mountain View on February 15th. Just 1 day after Valentine's. It's a good, I tell you, Mountain View and San Francisco is a good place to bring your wife or bring your girlfriend to go for a holiday. If you want personal recommendations, come and speak to me. I'll give you some nice restaurants recommendation. But we're going to have the Dev Summit in Mountain View on February 15. If you're interested, Google for TensorFlow, sign up. Right? But along with TensorFlow, this year we actually launched something what we call the Google Neural Machine Translation System. It sounds very technical. It sounds like a Star Trek or Star Trek technology, Star Wars technology. But it's very simple. It has to do with translation. So now if you go to Google Translate and you kind of translate some words, sometimes it's not very accurate because it's word-based. GNMT. Apologize guys, sometimes I wish that Google named their technology a little bit easier. Actually, it's a phrase-based translation using TensorFlow. What this means is that from the sentence that you put into, that you want to translate, you try to understand the context behind it. Right? It's just a showcase of how powerful TensorFlow can be. Right? And those technology is actually available to you guys right now. You can actually use it. And TensorFlow can work on GPU, CPU, also on a mobile device as well. Right? It's a nice way to add some AI or machine learning to your application. A lot of partners have tried it. Snapchat, we have Airbus, we have Uber has tried it as well. Twitter is using it. So that goes to show that there's getting some really good adoption and recognition in the industry. And it's open source. The best thing is that it's open source. So if you're really a hardcore developer, you can actually fork it on GitHub and then just do your own version. I have to be really careful with them when I say fork it on GitHub.
Yeah.
No idea why techies come up with such names or such terms. And if you don't deal with the hardcore level, low level stuff, you can check out the Google Cloud Machine Learning Platform. It's kind of like, imagine TensorFlow on the cloud, but already packaged into specific services and APIs that you can use. Right? So there are 6 available for your usage right now that does very specific things. But these are 6 specific things that we have seen a lot of developers struggling to do. Very simple stuff like text analysis, understanding an email and how to react to it, right? How to reply to it automatically. That's something you can use. Image analysis, understanding the sentiments behind image, right? When you analyze it and derive insights into how you want to react or respond or comment on that image. Job search and discovery. If you guys are in the job search industry, this is an API, you definitely want to check it out. Because you can actually use this engine to do matching very intelligently. Speech recognition and translation are 2 other things that you can check it out as well. So the link is down there, cloud.google.com/product/machine learnings. It's a REST-based API. So any developers who are familiar with REST-based APIs, this will pretty much be very, very simple to use. I'm gonna have to rush a bit here. So just to give you an idea of like why is it so important Why is it that people are investing so much in machine learning? Because it's applicable in almost every industry. It's a very transferable skill. Right? You know a little bit of machine learning, you are able to contribute in various different industries: retail, social media, healthcare, security, transportation, real estate, gaming. Right? It's one thing that you can learn, and it makes you really valuable as you progress through your career. So initially it was like rocket science, but now it's much more simpler, trust me. So I do encourage you guys to check it out. Last one I'll talk a little bit about is user experience. We talk about all the brainy stuff and things like that, but user experience is also very important. Why is it important? Can anyone make a guess? Why is user experience important? No? Okay. So it's basically the first contact point between your app and your user. Right? If your app is awesome, it has awesome features, but the user experience sucks, you're not going to get the right response immediately. So in Google, we explore different user experience capabilities. And one area that we believe has a lot of potential is VR and AR. Once again, Wenjun will be having a session on Tango that talks a lot about AR, which is really cool. You guys should check it out. But what I'm showing right here is what we like to call Daydream. It's a new user experience that is available out of the box on future Android devices. In fact, right now we have 2 devices that support this kind of user experience. It's a virtual reality kind of realm that you take these 2 phones, the Google Pixel or the Moto Z, you slot it into the Daydream viewer, and you're able to get this kind of experience and interact with your app this way. Imagine watching YouTube like this. Your girlfriend or your wife won't know what you're watching. So, that's really good.
I should have brought my cardboard.
So for developers, we have 3 SDKs right now that you can explore. Right? Android SDK, Unity SDK, and Unreal SDK. All these SDKs allows you to build VR experiences that plugs into Daydream or even Cardboard, right? Google Cardboard. So do check it out. The link is down there, developers.google.com/VR/daydream/overview. And once again, tell us if you develop something really cool. Last but not least, material design. Material design is, I think it's very important. For the longest time, we Google have not had a unified design language. Right? A lot of the Android apps looks kind of like different from one another. You don't really know where to click. Sometimes you can't find menu items. But material design is something that we put in a lot of effort into it to give developers some guidelines so that when you develop an app, immediately your user can use it. Right? You don't have to tell your user, hey, click here to get access to a certain feature. Right? And this year in particular, material design have a lot of new updates. And I'm very happy to say that my teammate, Takuro-san from Google Japan will be here. He'll be talking a lot about material design in the session. So and Taylor Ling too. Sorry, dude. Taylor Ling as well. He's our GD for UI and UX. Very well versed in material design, as you can see from Fabulous. So those 2 guys will be here. If you have any questions, do reach out to them. They will definitely be able to help you to navigate your way through. So I just want to end this session with saying that this is an exciting time to get involved, right? For the longest time, we have not seen a lot of innovations coming out. But this year, I feel that we have quite a good amount of things that we can dig into as developers or even as app owners. And 2017 is going to be even more awesome. So I just want to say, just try out some of the new things that I've shared, and just keep developing. Because that's most important. That's what the industry needs to get innovation flowing. So that's about it. I need to make an announcement to say that we have a Polymon game. I'm not exactly sure how that is being played. Henry will most probably have to tell you later on more about it. Or you want to tell him now? Okay.
Okay, so Polymon is a game. It's a progressive web game. So it's like, Pokemon Go, right? So basically the same thing. The Polymer team rebuilt the Pokemon Go to Polymon. So you can go to polymerproject.org. is the instruction how to play is sent to an email. So after you launch the app, you need to scan QR code and you can approach all the speaker. Behind your badge have a QR code. So you guys can scan the code and you can catch the Polymon. It's not Pokemon. Basically, the method how you play is exactly like the Pokemon, but with one thing extra, you can have a better feature. So actually, you can it's back to like the Game Boy version. It's actually nicer and it works offline. It's super nice. So it's built with Polymer, and it's progressive app. You should try it. Instructions sent to email already, so you should check it out.
Yeah, do check it out. It works offline. If you play Pokemon Go, you know Pokemon Go don't work offline. Right? And I just got to know that my Polymon name is Pao. Okay. People used to call me Pokemon because my surname is Bok. But I'm now Pao. Okay. So that's it. Today is your day. There's a lot of exciting sessions later on, so do stay on. Oh, question. Oh, you have time for a question? Yeah, I guess before I end, we do have some time for questions. Any questions from the floor? Well, what was just shared? Anyone have questions? Don't feel shy. I can speak Malay, Cantonese, Hokkien, Chinese, English, honestly. A little bit of Tamil. You can try me. Anyone has questions? No?
It's a long session.
Seriously? So either I'm doing a very good job, or I've been spending my half an hour here talking to myself.
No, this one is just now I show you that.
Questions? Oh, playing Polymon right now. Okay.
You can't play Pokemon.
Oh, there's a question. Yeah. Yes. Oh. So that people know.
Yeah, I just earlier you mentioned about Google TensorFlow. How is that different from? I understand Microsoft also has a new called AI library called CTNT, something like that, I can't recall, but just thought you can share any insights on what would be the difference, because I heard theirs is much faster, they have a benchmark there. I'm just wondering, yeah, what's the difference? And also, if we learn TensorFlow, are we able to learn other libraries easily? Are they transferable, or are they all entirely different APIs? Yep, thanks.
So the very first question is a very hard question. What is the difference between TensorFlow and one other small company? Okay, so that's a tough one. Then the second part is that if we learn TensorFlow, whether it's transferable, right? I'll answer that. That's easier, so I'll answer that first. So the thing about machine learning is that it deals a lot with the theory behind the technology. And that theory itself is transferable. So when you start learning machine learning, you go into things like how do you derive an insight based on data. I'm going to throw some technical terms here, but that is just for the context of the answer and just to answer your questions. So some of the theories are like forward chaining. How do you chain up specific data points in order to get to an answer or to recommendation based on the data set? Backward chaining. How do you look into the solution and then look for data that supports that solution? So those kind of theories are transferable. In terms of implementation-wise, a lot of the APIs are designed very similarly, right? TensorFlow is C and C++, it's a bit of Python library as well. And the APIs, you will notice that the naming and as well as how it works, the arguments that's being passed into those functions are very similar to other open source machine learnings as well. So that part is transferable. In terms of like whether you should replace an existing AI engine that you're using with TensorFlow, that requires some detailed discussion as well as architectural decisions to be made. Does that answer the second part of the question? Okay. So the first part of the question, I'll come back to the first part, is that Microsoft and Google, machine learning. A very diplomatic answer is that both has its own merits. And just a bit of context, I was with Microsoft before Google. So I kind of, but putting that aside, both has its own merits. Microsoft recently released some news. It is way faster than TensorFlow. And I have to say that's true. I'll say that's true. The reason why they can actually achieve that, and I won't speak, this is just my own personal point of view, so don't tweet about it. Microsoft is...
No record.
Microsoft has always been a very enterprise and performance-focused corporation. They are amazing at develop technology that scales and perform very well. Google, on the other hand, take a different approach. We want to encourage community engagement and collective intelligence contributing to open source technology, so which is why TensorFlow is open source. When you do an open source project, what you realize is that performance sometimes is not optimal. But that's where the opportunity comes in. If someone who is really passionate about technology comes in and contributes to that project, then you're able to make an impact and optimize it further, or even craft it to your own use cases. So I would say it's not really an apple-to-apple comparison here, but I do want to say that the concepts behind it is very similar. It also boils down to which development platform you are comfortable with. If you are familiar with C++ or C, TensorFlow, you'll find it at home. If you're familiar with C#, the .NET framework, and so on and so forth, Microsoft technology would be more appealing to you. And you know, in this world, everyone is working together. There's no more silos. Microsoft is finally embracing open source a lot more than when I was in Microsoft. And then Google is very open to work with Microsoft on various different things. So you might see that in future, and many years down the road, I won't say, but this is just my personal prediction, that a lot of these learnings will converge. So I won't say that investing in one will actually kind of be a waste of time, but I would highly encourage you to just try out whatever that makes sense to you. It's a very diplomatic answer, but similar to other frameworks or other platforms, it all boils down to use case, your resource, your expertise, and so on and so forth. So if you want to check further, we can actually tell you offline here. So that's the first question. Do we still have time? Okay, so we have time. So, any more questions?
10 minutes more.
Oh, sorry.
The Google Daydream, right? So it's the device, Google Pixel, and then the viewer, the Daydream View, is not available in Malaysia yet. So can we use like a cardboard to develop apps for that?
Yeah, you can develop you can use cardboard for that. The only thing that you cannot get is that experience that I was showing on the screen. You can't get this. You can't get this, right, on the cardboard.
The phone you can buy from 11th Street, so important now. But the Google, what is it, the Daydream View, I checked, cannot find.
You mean
I checked in Lazada, I checked in 11th Street.
I'm not sure they remove or not. Because the viewer can use cardboard, and the controller, I think there's an Android app. Then I'm not sure. I don't know they removed that already or not. There's an app for that, so it's like emulate the Daydream, the controller. They launched this thing like before they announced this thing like July something. I'm not sure you should Google it, but.
So there's a Pixel is first one we launched as a Daydream ready device, but Motorola announced they're going to launch Moto Z, I think, and it's Daydream ready device as well. And for development, you can use cardboard with 6B, and you can use control as a 5X. That's what we're encouraging developers to create for the Daydream device.
I love having them around. Does that answer your question?
Brain trust.
It does? Are you looking to create some interesting VR experiences that you have in mind? Just exploring? Okay, yeah. In terms of the devices, hopefully we can get them available here. Even in the US, I think they're out of stock already. So it's very early. Yeah. Okay? Okay, so it seems we have no time for questions, but if you want to talk further, we'll be around. Do reach out and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
battery consumption.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, now we will proceed with the breakout as well. For those of you guys who wish to go to L32 for track B or for our workshop, please do so. The current sessions today will be from 10:10 onwards. We will have a session by Tako Suzuki from Google Japan. We will have Noel Chu from AIO Synergy Solutions at L32. And we will have Liu Juntong, JT from our very own GDG KL organizing team, running the workshop on progressive web apps and Firebase at Lab 1. So ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to move to Lab 1 or L32, you may do so now. You have approximately 5 minutes to do so. The next session will start at
Polymer. Okay, so I'll be his assistant. My name is JT. I work for a full stack company. Not full stack company. I work in a full stack environment in a company called Table App. Okay, you might have heard it. I use a couple of like Firebase and progressive web technology in our backend system. So to inform the restaurant owners whether a new reservation come in. Okay, so I know something about it, and then I'm going to assist him. He knows more about progressive web app, so he's going to do most of the stuff.
JT assistant.
Yep.
Hey JT.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm Henry. So I'm talking about progressive web app. You're going to talk about Firebase. So we wear the wrong shirt. So the final thing we want to do is make the web great again. Yes. Okay, so first you need a few things you need to know is got two things you need to hold on like that. So the first one is the flow, like the step by step, and second one is collapse dash material is. Because some of you not using your computer, so I skip like the Bower install. I download already. Then the I set up. I have it create the index.html, manifest.json, sw-boss.js. So everything like initialized already. So what you need to do is just modify the index.html and code node-app.html. So this is what you're going to do later. So let's talk about what we are building today. So Unit server, you can use this, or you can use the Python server, Polymer server, or Firebase server, or any server you want, or you can build your own server.
Okay, just a quick show of hands. Who is doing web right now, like for work?
Yeah.
Okay, very familiar with web, right?
So basically, if you close your eyes, also can tap your script, right? Wi-Fi access, what? Wi-Fi access. What the password is welcome to NTU. Then
Use the youth hack points.
Okay, the SSID is youth hack. Okay, the SSID is youth hack, and then the password is welcome to ATU. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. So you open both. Can open, right? The server didn't down, right? So good, right? So this is the three things you need to do: connect to the internet, of course. And the first one is the step by step. I will explain it later. The second one is the collapse. Just download the zip file. Okay, so remember. Go.dictionary.xyz/collapse and collapse/material. So not file. No file, wrong folder. So this what? So this
So this is what we're going to build, a node app. Then you can, because you don't store your nodes for public, right? So it's, wait. Okay, so basically what you need to do is, what we are going to build is a node app that you can store with Google login, so you don't see other information, other people can't see your node, and that's it. Looks simple and it's simple. It's built using, the whole thing is Polymer. So basically, what you see is just so what you see, the toolbar is a component, the head is a component, this button is a component. So we are trying to write less JavaScript today. So we rely on a lot of Polymer components like Firebase. Firebase, we are going to use the Firebase component called Polymer Fire. So basically, you can, I think you should be able to write and read the information, the data, just a few lines of JavaScript.
Okay, maybe you can explain what is Polymer and what is Firebase and what is
so
progressive.
Just a quick to let you see like what the heck is Polymer. So it's too big or too small? Oh no, I need to. Okay, nicer. So basically, what you can see, right? This is all HTML, right? So anyone know what is service worker? No, service worker, no.
Anyone heard of service worker? Okay, what's that?
It's where you can store your data offline.
Almost, that's a feature actually. A lot of it's correct, but technically it's almost correct. It's like
We can't hear you.
you can't hear me
Okay, I'll amplify.
Yeah, you're taller you then you.
Okay, what
It's
is
a network
service
controller.
worker?
Service broker.
Yeah, have you heard of service worker?
Okay, so basically, service worker is a network controller that it can run in right now. If you open the tab, it's running. Even it can run in background. So what it can do is like it can do network controller. It can control all the incoming and outgoing network requests. So incoming, then they can cache all the file it made offline. If you don't offline, just make it faster. Also can what else? It's push data, push notification. Then if you want to build the push notification on web, then you need service worker also. The add to home screen, then you need service worker also. But to make it simple, it's a lot of steps to write service worker. Since Polymer is so awesome, this is how you write service worker in this. Just a few lines. See, this is all HTML tag, right? You can see this platinum service worker register, then the cache the bar. This is how you do in Polymer. That's all. So this, okay, I just introduce what is Polymer. So basically, Polymer is look like this. This is how you use the components. Just use it like usually you have #1, #2 image tag, but you make it fancier. So we have platinum. Because platinum is nice, right? So platinum SW register means platinum service worker register. Polymer, okay, so but Polymer is like this. So basically you're building a web like Lego, brick by brick, components by components. So we have a in here you can see there's a Firebase component, service worker component, and node add component. You want me to control this? So okay, so if you go to this here, you're going to skip a few steps because it takes some time to install like things like this Firebase toolbar is a bit slow, so I skip, initialize. This one skip, this one we do later. We do now. So we do now, right? We do now. Where's the? We do some non-coding stuff first, right? So we just set up a few things. So what we need to do is go to console.firebase.google.com. Let me start.
Oh.
Okay, so basically what you need to do is go to console. So you go to console.firebase.google.com and you need to log into your Google account. Of course, it's a Google product. Okay, so what else? So okay, so this is the final output. So you got a like so short animation, right? Okay. So what you need to do is go to create a project. Go to here. Go to console.firebase.com. Log in with your Google account. Then you create your project. Then you create your own project. Then you write your project name here. Then you click create project. After that. This is a problem. I have no idea I'm using which account. I have like, please don't tell Google I'm doing this. I have 9 Firebase accounts. Why would you use 9 Firebase accounts? I got full already. The limitation like 8 accounts per. Where I put the whatever I stick at this one. Please do not copy my API. Okay, so basically, once you create your project, then you go here, you can see something like this, right? I saw some of you on the page already. The country you just ignore lah. You can choose United States one. Don't need to find Malaysia, it's quite hard to find. So you got this super awesome Firebase console. It's built with actually. So we are building a web app, so you just click on this thing. Wait for a while. Which thing?
The red one.
The red button.
The red one.
Okay, so you click this add Firebase to your web app. You click.
It's taking a while to load the header.
Yeah, you need some clicks. I wait for like 1 minute last time. So you don't copy paste this because we are using Polymer, so a bit different. You can't copy paste. But we need the 3 information. We need the API key, we need the authenticate domain, and the database URL. But you use this later, not now. Okay, not now. So you got this thing set up, you got everything set up, you got the zip download already, right? Extract, paste in the folder.
No, I haven't.
You haven't. So you should
I have to download the zip, right? Does the zip have a folder inside the zip file already? Or is I have to unzip it in the folder?
You can download like that, right?
I can download, but I just need to know. So if I unzip, it doesn't mess up my desktop.
Yeah, zip or not zip? Google Drive? No, it's zip ma. It's zip, then you straight away download. So it's a zip, then you extract the zip file.
I have to unzip into a folder? Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, let me figure this out.
Okay, so maybe another bigger.
Okay, so I'll remove. Okay, I've unzipped the file. Oh, it's called Code Labs.
Yes.
I just came in. Firebase, is it a secure database engine or is it a no?
Is Firebase a secure database?
Secure.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is secure if you set up
No,
that
not secure,
proper.
secure. SQL, is it a
It's no SQL.
It's no
a
SQL.
non-secure?
Since Firebase is using WebSocket,
So it's just
so
like
it's a
Mongo, DB and all the others.
similar, but it's
similar.
actually more easy. It's easier to compare to Mongo.
And the hosting of the database, is it on Google Cloud? Or
Yes, it's on Google Cloud.
doing on localhost?
You store it on Google Cloud. It's not localhost.
You cannot compile it on localhost.
No. So basically, once you need to write and read the data, you need a full internet connection. So you can't do that on airplane mode. But anyway, So you got this this what is this thing called? The zip file download abstract. After abstract run local server, you download reopen. So after
Polymer Firebase.
So after you extract the folder, you will notice there's a few files. One is final, one is public, and the last three just ignore first. The public is we are going to use. The final is final, which means everything is complete already. It's just in case you lose yourself, then you can go to the final and see the full code. The public is just empty folder. So that's something you need to do. So there's a few file and folder inside the folder, inside the public folder. The first is Bower components. So inside Bower components, we have a lot of components, like just now you saw the Platinum SW cache and register, right? So basically the code is here. Yeah, it's in here. So you can see it's here. Those other files like Polymer file is all in this folder. It's something we should not touch the code. And if you want to download, like let's say code is component, right? Like today I want to add new component. You can go to two place. You can go to element.polymer-project.org, which is an old website. But I prefer that because I used that like 2 years already. Okay, so it's a catalog. It's a Lazada for Polymer. So basically, you can get all the components from here. So let's say the service worker is in Platinum element. You can get it from here. Blah blah. There is service worker. Then what you need to do is just, if you have Bower installed on computer, then you can copy paste the command. It's here. Then you copy paste. You will download and put in the Bower component folder. But I've done this all for you already, so you just skip this now. And this is the old website. The new website is on beta.webcomponents.org. So it's nicer. But anyway, I love this animation. So I love this animation. So I prefer to show you this one. And whatever. Next, what should I do right now? Okay, so we have initialize the Firebase, right? So you know what is Polymer, you know what is Firebase. You know the components already, so we're going to use a few components. Note add, continue this one. Note add. So since we are going to build a node add, right? It's Google thing. So we have a file called node-add.html. So this is your component. So you're going to do some magic inside the file. And you have a very normal index.html where you declare and import everything. You have manifest.json is you're building a progressive web app. So you know add to home screen, right? Anyone don't know what is add to home screen? Oh no, right? So basically the two things, the requirements for you to add to home screen are manifest.json, and the second one is service worker. So service worker required another file called sw.import.js, sw-import.js. So you need this few files, and image is just the app logo to make it nicer. So you got everything ready. So let's go to index.html. Right? So
Index.html.
Index.html. There's a file inside the zip file, right?
Yeah. Right, I have to load that. Okay.
So if you make sure you run the local server. Okay, so make sure if you are on this code labs, you can straight away skip to step 9. To make the lab easier, it's so easy.
9.
So next time you want to build another progressive app, you just download, then you start from there. So everything. Okay, so what we need to do is we have index.html. So remember we have sw-import.js and we have manifest.json. So we are going to put those items inside this index.html. So you're on this one, right? I think you can bigger a bit. Bigger. Can read or not? You can read from a computer, right?
But I just the last part.
Just in case you haven't downloaded, it's on these two links. go.linearity.xyz/codelab and codelabs-material. If my server down, then down. I don't know what will happen to my server. Okay, so since most of you are web developers, so you know what is HTML. So you know how to import those kind of stuff. So, okay, so for the manifest.json, what you need to do is copy paste this link. So you put that inside your head. So you import your manifest.json. So for non-cross browser like Google Chrome, who else? Firefox. Chrome and Firefox, you read this file. So you read this file, and if you click, if you import properly, then you go to Dev Tool, you go to Application tab. Then you go to Application tab, which I prefer to do something like this. Yes, you can drag and drop this thing one. Dev Tool is so powerful. Okay, anyway, so you can go to Dev Tool, then you go to Application, you click Manifest. If you see something like this, which means you have import your manifest.json successfully. If you know it's something like this, this doesn't happen. If something like this, then something went wrong. Right? You need to double check. So right now, the website can read this manifest.json, which is a very good thing. So you got all the logos show here. So right now, if you click this one is final, right? So if you click the add to home screen, it doesn't work because you need service worker. But we'll do that later. So just copy paste. We love copy paste, right? So you just copy paste this manifest.json, and for other browser like Safari, older version of Chrome, what else? Safari, any old browser, Microsoft Edge. I'm not sure Microsoft Edge will read the manifest.json, and you can copy paste this thing manually. By the way, if you look at the manifest.json, so you can see something like this. This is the manifest file. So you got the add the node, the add name, which is nodes. Then you have a start URL. If the user launched the app from the home screen, you launch index.html. Display standalone means the app will launch in full screen without the address bar, so it feels like native. Orientation is portrait or landscape or any. Theme color is, if you're using Chrome for Android, you notice the address bar will change color, right, sometimes. It's because the developer add this theme color, so it will look in this, I don't know what color, this it should be purple. I don't remember that. So it's the purple color, I don't know, I think so. And the background color, you launch from home screen, it will show splash screen first. Then this background color is the background color for the splash screen. So it feels so native. And to do the splash screen, this is what you need to do, just do like that. So every app needs icon, so you need icon. You need so many icons. Okay, right. Just you need icon, right? But sometimes you are lazy, right? You need generator for that. You need generator. People love generator, right? So yes, you can go to app manifest.firebaseapp.com. It's created by Opera of Safari. So this is an awesome web app. I don't think it's a PWA. It's a web app that you can generate your the manifest.json. Just copy paste.
It will generate the icons as well, right?
Generate, yes, I think yes. It will generate just upload 512 times 512, the biggest one. Then you convert that to 32, 64, 128, 256, and 5512.
So it's so easy. You just upload the icon, you just fill in all the blank. Fill in all the blank. That's primary school, right? Then it just generates the zip, put the manifest and icon back to your folder, and done.
Because you're lazy, right?
Yes, you're lazy, you're not coding one. You just copy paste everything. As well as coding. So okay, so what you have done is you have manifest.json here. Then you have manifest.json. It's once like almost. Wait, right now your app looks like native app already. Except you go to internet HTML, it's blank. Anyway, it launched in full screen. You got a fancy icon. Okay, so you got the manifest. Okay. If you notice, sometimes you visit the web app, it will ask you, hey, do you want to add to home screen, right? You a small banner. So you notice something like this is an old article. Whatever. So it's like you go to a website and notice there's a small pop-up asking you add to home screen. So you just press the add to home screen if you add to home screen. I'm going to talk about the improved version of add to home screen later, my talk, 3 p.m. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about the improved version of add to home screen, but right now we don't care about that because this is what your user can get on the Chrome stable version, even on Safari or modern browser. Even Safari, yes. Alright, so the next thing is, so we have manifest.json. Another thing we need is sw.import. So this is the code where the browser will know, hey, there's a service worker, then we need to import the service worker. But thanks God, just one line only. Just one line. Yeah. Just import this thing cause Polymer. Remember there's something called Polymer, right? And we have a Platinum service worker components. And it wrote all the JavaScript, the service worker JavaScript for you already. So what you need to do is just import that file. So you just copy paste this step 8, then you copy paste this import script file component, the location, the path of the service worker file. This should be not going to change forever. So every time if you use Polymer, only. If you use Polymer, then you create this sw-import.js, paste this line, done, that's all. You have sw-import file ready, but you haven't activate the service worker, right? Which we're going to do later. So go back to the index.html. So you got the manifest.json there already. So you got that already. Okay, so next thing. Okay, so what we have right now, we have initially the Firebase project. You know what is Polymer, you know what is Progressive app, you know what is service worker, you set up the manifest, you have the SW import. So the next thing is we need to start to use Polymer. So we need to know how to use Polymer. And Polymer is a web components library. It's a web components library. Yeah, Polymer is a web components library. So in some browser doesn't support web components, like the older version of IE8, IE9 doesn't support web components. So you need to import this web components /lite.js. So you step 10. So import actually there's a method for you to do that. Like for modern browser like Safari, not sure about Safari. The latest version of Chrome, like Chrome 52, there's a web components built inside the browser already. So when there's no point to import this web components file anymore. So there's a script, it's not here. So for production, you just detect this browser supports web components or not. If they have built-in web components, then you don't need to import. If else, then you just import this part. So we have the first one. The second one, the web animation.js is, that's why you see the fancy Reaper animation, right? So yes, you don't need to code for that. You just use They use. That's the reason why Polymer come up with hashtag. Hashtag use the platform. Use all the existing thing already. You don't need to rebuild everything every time. So Polymer. So okay. So still remember the Platinum Test SW, right? So every web component is a HTML file. To put, so basically you need to import or declare the HTML inside your index.html. What you need to do is just like this. So you use the link, then set to import, then you put the HTML file. This, the first and the third and fourth line it's actually from the the Polymer element catalog. So there's nothing you need to do about that. The last one is node add, which is you're going to write the code for this today. It's inside the node add HTML. Right now the node add HTML is empty, so it's empty. You just import that. You just import an empty file. After that, we need to declare, tell the browser, hey, this is a web component and something like that. So actually there's an explanation for that. So there's a Firebase app. So you import if you go back to the Firebase console, it asks you to import this JavaScript file, right? But we make it nicer a bit, so we're all using HTML import, then we use HTML import for everything. So we're not going to use this thing. So instead of putting this, this script, we just import the Firebase app.html.
What is the difference between importing the script or importing the HTML? What is the difference?
Okay, actually it's the same thing. Okay. If you go to the folder and see this Firebase app.html, then you will see the script
the
there.
Script is inside.
But with extra some feature for that. I think if last time, like few versions before, you can import Firebase.html, but if you import Firebase HTML, it's basically import Firebase the basic code, Firebase database, Firebase authentication, Firebase cloud messaging, all the Firebase feature, which is no point to import everything. You just use what you need. So basically in this case, we just import Firebase app. So Firebase app is enough for you to like initialize your project. Then after that, Firebase app comes with Firebase database. So if you want to use Firebase authentication, it's just Firebase-auth.html. So it's made like separate file. Same to Firebase JS. So it says this is actually not recommended. So you just use Firebase-app.js and Firebase, same thing to the HTML. So just replace that JS to HTML.
So if you do Firebase.js, we are importing like 52 different components in there.
No, because this is a library, so you import like 300 or 400 KB. But in this case, like just 70 KB only. Okay. So just make component modular. Any module is modular. Okay, so you import these 5 very, very important files, which the first one, if you're using Chrome, then you don't need to import. The web animation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this one done. Next. So, any question?
No. Alright. Yeah, the scripting and script and import, right? The script and import, right? The import is for importing Polymer components. Yes. So the script.
Okay.
Okay, so right now we're going to do something this. So Dev2 is super powerful. So sometimes please build your web app, develop your web app using Google. This super powerful. It's not like something called Firebug. Right? So we have Dev2. So you go to application, click service worker. You can see further you have service worker installed, but not for you, because this code is done already. So you expect something like this. If right now you have something like this, you go to service worker, there's empty, which means there's no service worker installed, registered. Basically, there's no service worker inside the website. Sometimes you will see some error, sometimes. Right now we don't have error, which is a good thing. Okay, so we are going to make from nodes. Basically, we are going to import service worker to the web app. How? First this thing. Okay, so remember there's something called platinum.service. Okay, repeat this thing like how many times. So either you can go to copy paste, but remember there's we should actually you should get the code from here, from this catalog. Then you can click then you click this platinum. Yes, this one. So you go here. This is a full documentation for that. And that's a demo code. It's not demo, it's just something you should copy paste inside, copy paste and put in your web app. So this is actually a complex version, and there's other small file like Platinum Service Worker cache. So this thing do is cache the file. Of course, okay, this is how Service Worker works. You open a index.html. The browser detects, hey, this browser supports service worker or not. It supports, let's import just now the sw-import.js. It import the service worker. Inside the you import the sw-import.js. Then inside this file is go to serviceworker.js. Then inside the serviceworker.js is actually the code have like register service worker, install service worker, then activate the service worker. There's 3 steps for that, which something you can skip. You don't need to do. This the power of Polymer. You don't need to do anything. So you do something like this. Go back to this one. So remember, you need to register, right? So you just use this awesome tag, Platinum Service Worker Register. So it's a tag for you to register the service worker. You have auto register. So you register the service worker automatically. Just once the browser load this file, you say, hey, auto register. You register the service worker automatically. No JavaScript for that. Skip waiting, climb, blah blah blah. Reload on install. Reload on install is something. If you reload, is here and reload on install and update on reload. It's too different to do. Make sure if you're using DevTools, make sure these both are unchecked and this offline yes. Please make sure you are not on offline mode, else everything is not working. This is for you to test after you enter the service worker. So basically, if you offline, it's still working. Then you can see a lot of error, right? Because you can't. It's offline, so you try to get the file from internet but it fails. Of course, it fails offline. Okay, anyway, so what you need to do is just copy paste. Then you have the SW cache. So what you see here right now, you see I'm offline, but all the things still can look properly. The reason is because we cache all the file right here. You can see all the components, all the files, we cache all already. But how to cache those files? 3 lines. Basically, it's 1 line only. You just copy paste that you have cached everything. Welcome to 2016, where you don't need to write JavaScript to do JavaScript stuff. Okay, so we have import the service worker already. So your web app, just now you remember you import a few like node-app.html, all cached locally. All the files cached into the browser already, so it works offline. Okay, so the next one is this one we done already, right? We've done already. So this is Firebase. So we got offline. So right now we need to set up the Firebase in your index.html. So if you go back to the Firebase console, you have a few things. Remember the ICI key, the domain, and the database URL. So you got these 3 things. You just copy paste and go back to the editor. And you just put this Firebase app. You're using Firebase app. Oh yeah, correct.
Import Firebase.
Then you put this thing. You import the Firebase app. So inside you have a name for the components. Because you can declare multiple Firebase app inside your HTML, which is no point to that. But to make your life easier, just put a name, create a name for that. API key, go back to the console, you have an API key, you can copy paste. Same to the authentication domain and the database URL. So just copy paste. Yes, 2016 is a year of copy paste. even you are not follow this collab, right? If you are, let's say you're in production already, so basically, after you're going to build something for production now based on the code labs, you still copy paste everything. You just go to the catalog and copy paste. It's exactly the same thing. That's why we copy the first one, the Firebase app. The authentication we do it later. Okay. So we have to import the Firebase app. So if you go to the file there, you have this thing. So what you see, if you go to the website, then you make sure you put inside the body and don't put other places. It's inside the hash. Put the Firebase app tag inside the index.html inside the body. So basically, if you go back to the what is it called? Applications. So basically, if you go back to the network, you can see actually it's import something. No, post on my timeline. So basically, if you go to this, what is this thing called? The network panel. You click on WS, which stands for WebSocket. You can see this weird name. If you see this, it's a good thing, which means you have successfully set up and initialized your Firebase. So remember I told you Firebase is a NoSQL real-time database. That is for Firebase database. Firebase has like 20 plus features, and we are just used only two features, database and authentication. So right now you can see it's connected. So you can see it's service worker. It's a WebSocket. So if you see nothing, then something is wrong. So you can see the ID is, in my case, it's DevFest PWA-workshop. Okay, that's, if you're not familiar with Polymer, you're using something called dash case. You're using something called dash case. So you have, if you go back to this thing, you can see it's camel case, right? So you can see it's camel case. But in Firebase, not Firebase, in Polymer and web components, even you're not using Polymer, you just use your vanilla code to create web components. You are going to write something like this. So API key just now is K is capital and don't have dash. We just switch to camel case. Switch to dash case, not camel case. From camel case to dash case.
I call it kebab case.
Yeah, kebab case.
Yeah, true. So we changed the dash case to kebab case. Because kebab is nice. Okay, so there's a lot copy paste, right? I don't think you actually write something. So yes, it's 2016. You copy paste a lot. Okay, so it's time to code yourself, right? So
yeah, I'm already there.
Okay, so what you see right now is very, very small because I want to show more this thing here. So you can see the whole thing, that everything is inside a, no, I didn't so big on my screen. It's a Node app, this one. So inside a Node app, we're going to throw all the the toolbar, the thing, there's a cloud logo, there's a fat, you know fat, right? There's a fat floating action button. It's not a fat. It's not fabulous. Fabulous action icon. It's floating action icon because it's floating. So you have a floating action icon. So you're going to throw. Really, we throw all everything inside a Node app. But remember, we have import a file called node.html, right? So we should throw everything inside the node.html instead in the index.html. So basically, next time you can reuse these components. You just import a Node app, then you just use Node app. So you import the node app.html. So to use that, you just declare like this inside your body. So it's below the Firebase app. So inside your body, you have Platinum Service Worker, then you have Firebase apps, then you have what? You have node app.
Wow.
So time to code Polymer code. Okay, there's a few ways to make you even lazy. Actually, it's a good thing, because fast. Okay, so to start something like this is just a hello world for the hello world for this. Okay, if you are using Sublime, if you are using Atom, if you are using VS Code, there's a plug-in extension or whatever you call. So it's an extension for that. You can go to the store. The store that you can search for polymers.
Oh, now you only tell me.
Yes, there's a few ones, right? There's two you can use. Either it's IDE, which is released by Polymer team itself. I don't know why I'm not using that. Or the old one is Polymer snippet. This one is created by I don't know who. For Starlight and Atom, it's created by Bob Dobson. It's the Poly team. It's one of the very famous Polymer. It's kind of like Polymer contributor or it's not he's not product manager. Product the Polymer manager is talent. It's kind of like contributor, but he's a Googler. He's a Googler. If you go to YouTube, you search for Polycast, then you'll see a lot of face there. Yes, in terms of Polymer, so I need to have one idea that I feel swag, Yes, let's swag, right? Yeah. I got this one. That is a polymer, but if you watch Polycast, then you know this thing in his video. This is limited edition. I got it. It's something like a Rubik's Cube. Yes, it's a Rubik's Cube. And the only not so shock thing is this is the old logo. They changed the color a little bit, but no different one. I got a few more Polymer sticker, right, yeah. So show off to your friend. Hey, I know Polymer. Then see, this is a Polymer logo. Then I got what? I got all old logo. I don't have the new one. Then I got the old Firebase logo. Okay, I don't have the new one. Sorry. We didn't print the new one. All old logo. Just tell people, hey, there's a 2 version of logo. Okay, anyway, so to make your life easier, you just either install this Polymer IDE or this. Same goes to Atom and Sublime. So to create new components, you need some code. So what you need to do is just PE. Hey, done. So you create a kind of like skeleton for web components. So you have so just it's exactly the same thing as here. Just if you don't have the extension or you can memorize this code, don't memorize or use extension. Okay, you save your brain memory for other stuff. So you have this one. So I explain it like that. So you have DOM module, which is because you're using Shadow DOM. Shadow DOM V1. Oh, there is where component V1. Shadow DOM I think is V1 already, but it's not working on all browsers. It's alright if you fall back to older version. So we have 2 things. One is DOM module ID and Polymer is. Right. So Polymer is and the ID, you make sure you put the same thing. In this case, we are going to put node app. So if you tell the browser, hey, this is a node app. So go back to index.html, you put the the Node app thing, right? So make sure both are same, then it will work perfectly. And if you start to write something here, it will show like you put in the div, but we package it inside a HTML with web components. And to do this, actually this 3 line, this actually is 1 line. Just Polymer is what they do is they do a lot of job for that. They do declare. So tell the browser declare this Node app, then activate so you can use it in other pages. So in Polymer, you just do something like this, or you just copy paste from here. Put all your styling, your div, your content inside this template. So if you copy paste, you refresh, you should see. So if you go back to public, then you can Node app. So what you have is a Node app empty. So just so you got Node app, then you can see hello world. So you write something like this, go back to the browser, refresh. Nah, nothing come out. Why? Of course I forgot to import a lot of stuff. It's super small, right? Yes.
There's no parameters.
Yes, because my index HTML is empty. This is the reason. Okay, I'm lazy. I'll go back to here. Go back to my here. Copy paste.
Force refresh.
Ta-da! You can see there's a hello world.
And you get it.
So this, you complete, basically in this right now, the right moment, you have complete another code labs called create your first Polymer element. So you have created your very first Polymer element called, not hello world, it's Node app, then inside Node app have this hello world. But remember what we need is something have a toolbar, we have a flag, we have some content, but we don't have anything. But how come the what error? Yes, you see service worker service worker is got error already. Oh no, yeah, no. Because I click show on from I don't know where. You know, then right now okay already, right? This okay. So we have declared the first, declare and activate, and your very first Polymer is working. So you got a hello world. So you need to add some styling, right? So basically, you're not going to write CSS right now. You just copy paste. To do that, you have to do It's a Polymer. It's a components inside components. So in that HTML you have Node app. Then inside the Node app you have a few more stuff. So you need to import more things. Then you need to import more things like Node app inside this tab and Node app elements. We have app index db mirror. I'll explain what is this later. And the Polymer file which help you to like read and write data from two files. So less JavaScript, more Polymer. You just import this thing, put inside your Node app.html. So remember, it's put above the DOM module. So under the DOM module, inside the DOM module have a template. Inside the template, you need to put your CSS and your tag inside, right? So So you need to the reason is this. Inside this Node app element, they have import a few CSS for that, but they haven't activated the CSS yet. So you need to do is use style, include Node app share style. This for the Node app share style is inside. You can see from So basically, you can see there's there's a share style HTML. Then inside the share style have a lot of CSS. Not a lot, just a few. So basically, you have all the stuff here. You just, hey, you import HTML, you even import CSS. Okay, so go back to here. So we have import the, what is it called? The CSS and a few things. So you copy paste, go back to add, copy paste, then go back, refresh, see what have I don't know. Yes, oh, you getting 404, right? I think the URL wrong already. Yes, the URL wrong already for the first one. So the correct path is okay. So one thing you need to change is bubble components / node app element. So you just change the URL to this. So it's bubble node app element / node app element .html. Refresh, please, can. So you see, if you can see the difference, actually the background changed to gray color already. So you have something working. So the error is service worker error, so we just ignore first. Sure. Yeah, correct. So, of course, correct lah. Because inside here is empty, ma. You haven't put the node, the node app element. You should put it somewhere near here. So you need to put some magic here, which we are going to do now. So you go back to the here. Okay, so we have a few things. We have fat, we have toolbar, we have the show the item list. So to add the toolbar, add to toolbar is just copy paste again in HTML. You don't need to, not even to see the NA toolbar.html. You just go to your here. You just NA toolbar. Then you go back, refresh. See, ta-da! You got a toolbar already. So the difference is just usually in normal cases, right? You need to do something like this and toolbar, then you write a lot of boring code here, and it's not reusable. Then you need to copy paste this thing over again. But right now we just do something like looks like magic, right? So you just put this NA toolbar. That's all. Of course, NA toolbar have all the things, all the styling, all the content and node tags. Okay, so the toolbar is showing. So the next thing is we are trying to do something like this. If you remember the full demo, right? You have a full purple color with sign with Google. Yes, we're going to just import another tag called NA login. NA login. What have I done? Just put two things. Then we got something like ta-da! So easy. So easy.
It's a full screen with a button in the center of it. Yeah, mine doesn't sign out. Why is it not signing out?
Actually, it's the next thing. So, got people ask me. So, in this case, we are using Google login, right? Can we use other login? Yes, of course. Firebase is so cute, right? It's so cute, it allows you to use so many methods, which is like no. So many users sign to the the DevFest web app. I can see all the users, but I only can see an email. I got the email from the physics also. Okay, anyway, so you can see there's a few methods. So you have an email password, the classic method. You have Google login, you can use Facebook login, Twitter login, GitHub login, which is enough for your life already. Right, this is what you expect from a user. You can also build your own custom login method. First, you just build your own. And recently, it's not recently, a few months ago, it's not, they're adding something target not for us, they target on Japan and Korea users. You know Line, right? The Line, the messaging app, it actually supports Line login, but you need to use your own server and try something. You can go to Google search Firebase authentication Line. Then there's a tutorial teach you how to set up for this Line login. But in this case, we are going to just use the Google login. Because it's a Google event, we use Google login. If Facebook event, then we use Facebook login. And at least Google is like open this thing to like, hey, it's not only for Google, because sometimes you are not using Google login, right? Some people prefer Facebook login. Malaysians don't really use Twitter, right? No, right? So you basically, if you're using Firebase authentication, you just target for Google login and Facebook login. This is what the user should have. Email login is like, hello, it's 2016. People don't need to type password anymore. Maybe, I don't know. Because if you use Google login, then the user don't need to have like sign up, write email. Like the flow for email password is like this. User write the email, write the password, then go back to the email verification check. Okay, then go back, log in, then 4-step, 5-step. But Google login, you just log in, check for permission, allow, done. You haven't done anything, right? Yeah.
I'm just curious, the password is stored for the email password,
No,
the password is stored inside the Firebase?
You can't see that. I think I got a real world example. It's 4, right? Yes, 4.
It's just a unique ID. There's nothing. Just
So basically, you can see there's 2 email with a user ID. User ID. It's not okay. So it's got a few things. I should not show that. So you got a user ID. So what you can do from the dashboard is just reset the password or delete the account. You can't view the password.
Okay.
I think there's only only a person in this world can view the password, which you go to Google Data Center and try to do something on it. That's the only thing you can view the password. Of course, no one can do that. Trust Google, right? Okay. Anyway, so what you need to do is go back to your console. If you want to use Google login, then make sure you enable this thing. Just enable. You click save. Save. You change to green color. Then you're almost done. You're almost done. So right now you are going to add the Firebase authentication to your web app, to your Note app. So if you're using JavaScript version, then you need to write this. Right now you should start to write a lot of JavaScript already. A lot means like 10 lines. A lot. But right now we make even easier. 0 line of JavaScript, just 1 line of HTML tag. They separate to 5 lines because it's easier to read. Actually, you just put it in 1 line. So you just copy paste. Yes, copy paste again. Put it here. Put it. I usually like to put Firebase on the top of the page. It doesn't matter. So you got the Firebase authentication. In this case, you have an ID because we're going to write some JavaScript to access this thing. So we have create ID called authentication. And the app name, remember inside your index.html, we have declared the name called Notes, right? So whatever you call here, you just use the same one here, app name. So the components will not is both same together. So this node will go to use the correct database URL. and the provider is Google, you can say to array, so you can have multiple login method. So right now we set to Google. Even if you don't put Google, the default login method is Google. What is built by Google, so everything is Google. So to do authentication is like this, but it's time for a little bit of JavaScript, right? A little bit of so we've done this already. What? The component stuff for you already. Alright. Yes, nothing happened. If nothing happens, it's fine. Okay, so you have put this authentication. What you need to do next is, okay, that's something, it's a bit complex if you're very new to Polymer. So Polymer, you have something called listener, there's support listener and support another thing called behavior. So you don't need to care about that. So you just put behavior, then Polymer.node app behavior. The node app behavior, which is declared in node node app elements, which they've done for you already. You should read about this thing on another code labs. You should follow everything. But in the meantime, we just copy paste. We just copy paste. Yeah, copy paste. Copy paste. Copy paste. Go back to node app. So this is node app, and we put under here. So make sure you don't put extra comma or something like that if you break things. So make sure there's no syntax error. Okay, save, then you refresh. Okay, it should be okay. Print something or not. Alright. So we have import the node app behavior. What is that? Alright, so it's basically some JavaScript for that. You should right in the meantime you don't look at it. Okay, so another awesome Polymer feature called data binding. If you're using Angular 2 data binding, right? If you use Angular what? Okay, if you use Angular 2, then you should be familiar with something called data binding. If you don't use data binding, you can use something like document.write, .inner HTML. Please do not do that. Please do not use document.write. It's blocked on mobile 3G connection. So it's make your website so slow. Okay, anyway, so there's something called data binding, which saves your life, because you got the data from Firebase, right? Then you want to show it on a div, right? Maybe a paragraph tag. You don't need to write JavaScript anymore. You just put to not now. So you're going to put that the data binding. In this case, sign in you return true false. User will return the object full with like the UID, email, the provider method. So yeah, the user is return an object. The sign is return a bullet. So think about that. We are going to build a node app, right? We support sign in and it supports sign in. So you should have two views right now. One is signed already, one is haven't signed in. So we can use this bullet from the sign in. So you can say if true, then we show the node, all the node data. If haven't signed in is false, then we show the sign button. So this is what we're going to do. And remember, there's one lock button on top, right? If you sign already, if you unlock, if you haven't signed, you will lock. So you need to do is just data binding. So so you remember there's a sign in attribute, behavior attribute. This value. The value called sign in. So it's data binding. If then inside the node app toolbar, just call another thing called sign in inside sign. This sign in and the sign in from the Firebase authentication is the same thing. So if the authentication is suddenly changed to true, this will become true. If suddenly become changed to false, then this will become false. You notice there are two brackets, one is curly bracket, one is square bracket, and one is two-way data binding, another one is one-way data binding. And you also same thing, right? So the on sign out is the moment if you press on the lock button, if you sign out, then we call the sign out function. So we copy paste this. Let's go back to the node toolbar. If I press, it should pop up something like that. So, okay, so oh yes. Yeah, correct. So if you go back to so what right now we are going to do is you press the login button, if you do something right, it should, in this case, if you pop up the Google Authenticator, the Google account chooser of, if you only have one account, you straight away go to ask for your permission. Like you allow this app to view an email or some basic information. So right now we are doing is yes, we are going to write. Finally, it's time to write something on screen. So once you press the button, you call a function called sign-in. So this is the syntax for that. You can use ESs for that. Actually, we are going to use ESs later. Anyone familiar with ES6? It's ES5. The prototype.
Alright, JavaScript.
Yeah.
Who write JavaScript by go to Stack Overflow and copy paste? Okay, so basically what you expect is a normal way. I should write before and after. So this is the classic method, right? This is how you learn from the textbook. So you write your function like this, like that. You write the function like this, but in Polymer we write something like this. Nice, right? If you're using Polymer 2.0, it's even shorter. Even you can use ES6, but then you can use like those you can use those arrow functions. So instead of sign in, right, we need to sign in something. We need to ask the Firebase authentication, Firebase auth, that components to do the sign in job for us. So just this dot. So okay, this we call in this file is not going to anywhere, just in this node app. Then the dot $sign dot if you use $sign, it means ID. So in other words, you can use something like this. Document.query selector. So short, right? So short and so short. So if you call this element, you call this already. So you should have full access to all the function inside this element. So the function name is sign in with pop up. So once you call the function called sign in, you pop up the sign in pop up. This one. And the sign with pop is done this is from the Firebase and Firebase components. Even you're using the normal, this method is, I think it's the same code. You can go to documentation and read from. You read from yourself on this one. No, I forgot to add one line. Really? Wait, let me try. Yes, I forgot to add one thing. So inside your this, forgot to copy paste, right? Yes, this one. So I missed something just now. So the app, I talked about data mining just now, right? So we add the sign in this button, sign out button for the toolbar, and for the log in the components, we also need to add on sign in if sign already or disable blah blah blah. The disable is if that's offline, then you should not able to press a button, because if offline you press a button, also not working. So remember you have a sign in, right? So you have on sign in, it's called sign in. So we just paste this in. So you just paste this in. Alright. So on login, if someone press on the button, it will trigger this on sign in, which will call this sign in function, and this sign in function will call this to show the pop-up. It should work right now. So go back to this. Right. You press. Ta-da! Ta-da! Something is working, right? Yes. So you can see my email again. No. Actually, I have a lot of emails. Don't ask me. I create a lot of Google projects because like what some like 80% is demo, then the remaining 30% is production code. I try a lot of stuff and I break a lot of stuff. Not working there, I lazy to delete and I just leave it. That's the reason I could 9 or 10 Google account. Please don't do that, it's against Google TOS. There's no Google here, right? No, they won't thank me. I wear yellow shirt. No. Okay, so we got the sign in. So you press the sign in, you log in. Press. Yes, and wait for a while. Yes. How come not working one? Oh, the reason it's not working because we haven't done it. So right now we're able to do the login already. So okay, let's try offline. Let's try something offline. So offline, how to go offline? Go to offline. Yes, you see, if I online it's like this. If offline it's like this. Offline you can see the cloud is. I think next time I should ask them to put the T-Rex logo there instead of the cloud with okay, so you can see right now this if offline is offline here already, right? So this button is not working anymore, it's disabled already, so you can't log in. Right, you should not able to log in. Even they didn't do this, you also cannot log in. It's just quite neat to like it's not going to show any the error page or what. So it's not offline right now, so back it online. So you got this thing already. So next. So we're going to do the view for you can show the node data, and we can click on the node for the production. So basically what we are going to do is do this thing and this button. So this button will open a new page for you to add new item. So it's a new item. No creative behind. So new item is there, so okay. Another item. No, whatever lah. So you think about whatever. So press the something wrong with my finger. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this one thing. So remember data binding. Data binding even support something called DOM repeat. So just repeat everything. Just this element is exactly the same thing, except the text is different. So you repeat, right? So you use data binding to do this, the loop thing, and press this button to show the new item page.
So all that nodes is saved in the Firebase
directly
database.
Yes, it's
cloud.
So just now okay.
So if you hit refresh, everything's still there.
Yes. So in this right now, the text is in my browser. So the moment I press done, it's sent to Firebase, and that's it. So use another device, you log into the same Google account or same Facebook account or the same account, then you will see the annotate the same thing. So this is one of the feature of Firebase. You haven't set up any such database, but you can do those fancy database. And it's real time. So basically, if you have two page, so you have hey new item whatever in other you should do something. This is how the Firebase thing demo file. Yes. So I should do something like this. I have two tabs. Both assigned to the same account, so I click here. So if I press done, tada, you see, on the right hand side I didn't do anything but show up immediately. I didn't refresh the page. Because Firebase is a real-time database. So actually you should be able to create a chat app. Because chat app you need real-time thing, right? So you should be able to do basically in this point you should be able to build a chat app already. Just multiple two different accounts and that's it. Okay, so but the problem is we haven't done it. We haven't do this thing yet.
Is the service worker push the update to things?
No, it's not the service worker. Service worker only manages offline behavior.
Oh. So it's the Firebase pushing the
Yeah, there's a function of Firebase. It will just grab the data and send it to the.
Okay, so we're going to build, add a few more things. The first thing is a fact. It's a material design. So in Polymer, all the material design element components we call it start with paper. So it's a card, they call it paper card, button, paper button, which is the material design button with ripple effect. And this one is a fan. Actually, this is also a fact. Oh yes, one thing. The website, this Code Labs website is built with Polymer. So basically, they just build one, then they just put all this information in a JSON, and they can reuse everything. So this is the reason this Code Lab web app is quite fast. Although the first release is horrible, but right now it's very stable, and I think there's no bug. Okay, so what you need to do is copy paste. Okay, so I explain a bit. So you should not able to add new items when it's offline. So we have disable if offline you set to you know those statement, right? So if the browser is offline, you set disable to true. It's online, you set disable to false, and you can edit if you have internet connection. So and another one is icon is add. So you're not going to put SVG inside there because it's all there already. So icon add, this one is icon arrow right, another is icon arrow left. Just put it like that. So you just put the icon add, you have on tap, if you tap on it, you run a function called create, and it's disabled when it's offline. And the arrow label is for the screen release. It's for those the ALLY. Right. How you pronounce that? It's this thing. So that people can, for those
localization.
No localization. It's like
accessibility where disabled people.
It's for disabled. Okay, so yes, copy paste. This one paste in Note app. So paste here. And I'm not supposed to show that. I forgot to print something out. Ignore that one first. So we're going to add paper fab, and remember the editor. So we're going to add an editor for that. So use this NA editor, node app editor, and you need the ID for that. And the node, editable node. So in the node you write something, right?
That was a piece of the Salasin.10 podcasterium. It is hoped that you have enjoyed it. If you have any issues, please feel free to leave a comment through any of the channels. That was a piece of the Salasin.10 podcasterium. It is hoped that you have enjoyed it. If you have any issues, please feel free to leave a comment through any of the channels.